Chapter 7. So you can do a long rest, get back all of your spell slots, hit points, anything that might be going on.
In this long rest, Tarnish is going to do some infusing as a part of his abilities. And I think he's going to infuse his armor so that it is enchanted.
Okay, so the next morning, you wake up, you get yourselves ready, you come downstairs and have some breakfast in the common room. Lord Lawrence comes in, he still has not slept. He's strangely upbeat and chipper, and just, you haven't seen him in this mood since you've met him. He's been very, very sort of grim and, determined, and now he's much happier. He comes over to your table, sits down, orders a little something to drink. He's already had some food earlier, and he starts just talking to you about the various things that you've seen along the way, just chit chat stuff. And he says later tonight, Alani is leaving tomorrow morning, and so we're going to do a little late night picnic and drinks up on the big hill that's up behind the fort. He says that a druid who is here, named Hamilton Rowan, is a Circle of the Stars druid, so he studies the stars and whatnot. And he has built a device, along with some of the artificers, that supposedly will allow us to look at the moon up close. He's been working on these sort of spyglass things that allow you to see very far distance. He's apparently put two together, so you look through both of them at the same time. And then he's also made a very large one that will allow us to look close up at the moon. Specifically, he wants to show us a close-up of this thing called the Star Chariot. And this is an object that is sort of like a smaller moon that goes across the sky and multiple times a day and night. And you can see it specifically when it crosses in front of the moon. And then Hamilton apparently has calculated, because he's all into all of this math stuff, he has calculated that tonight at a certain hour the Sky Chariot will cross the moon, and he wants to show us this before Alania leaves in the morning. And so Lord Lawrence invites the three of you to join him for a picnic under the stars with some drinks, just to sort of check out this telescope and stuff later tonight.
Sounds fascinating.
Savina immediately perks up when she hears moon.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yes, I would absolutely love that.
Neart, will you be joining us?
Why do we need to look at the moon?
It's just a novelty. It's not something that happens every day when the Star Chariot crosses the moon, and it's an opportunity for us to check out what Hamilton's been working on while he's been up here.
I shall go and do my sunset rituals prior.
Did the Lord of Creation, he created the moon, right?
One would stand to reason that as the part of the creation of all things, that the moon is a piece of it.
So wouldn't you want to check in on it?
Sort of a method of appreciating the creation that the Creator has given to us. Tarnish, you continue to impress me with your slow movement toward the light of the Forge Master.
Well, we'll see. Let's have breakfast.
And so, Lawrence sort of raises a glass and toasts to the three of you, and he says, I'll see you later tonight, enjoy your day. And he heads out. And something that you're sort of feeling in general, especially now that you've just been in his presence, is that there's something different about the way the arcane field, the magic that you draw on, feels different this morning. It was very choppy and chaotic, very noisy on the way over here. And now, this morning, it has become sort of smooth. If you were to make a metaphor about the ocean, it's flat, there's no waves, no chop. It's a perfect flat ocean.
Is this like the feeling, the magnetic pull that everyone feels towards the Twisted Lands? Is that what we're feeling?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And instead of it being this choppy and chaotic thing, now it's this very sort of smooth and elegant feeling. And so you're feeling much, much calmer. Even though you just solved a murder the day before, you're feeling like things are starting to be in the right place again.
Are you well rested?
Sorry?
Are you well rested?
Very much. Huh. And you?
I am. Thank you. Tarnish, did you say your morning sun salute to the Forge Master?
Oh, yes. I
Neart
did.
looks proud.
I did actually, yes, I did wake up with a beam of sunlight in my eye, and in a way I was greeting the Forge Master when I opened my eyes and I said, "What's that beam of light?" And then I got up and brushed my teeth and went on my way. So yes.
Good.
But I do feel like there's a bit of a spring in my step. I was a little troubled when we went to the burned down village of our local friend, and I feel like we have a sense of purpose now, don't you think? To root out this Lord Koshi and his regime, it just feels right.
I am concerned about his motivations here. Absolutely. This is definitely Forge Master's work in telling me that I need to help protect the source.
What if Lord Koshi was perhaps creating something? Would that be a conflict of interest for you?
A what?
It's a conflict of interest inside yourself, where you say, this goes against my beliefs, but I know that it is right.
I suppose I will have to have that inner monologue when the time arrives. But creation, and all creation is good, but
What about
creation that causes harm or injury to many, I will have to meditate on this.
You should, yes. I'm so excited to see the moon tonight, aren't you, Savina?
Oh, absolutely. I guess I'm going to share it with you guys, but I want to become a Circle of the Moon druid.
Oh,
So this whole endeavor it's really exciting. I get to see the moon.
wow.
Yeah.
You druids are so interesting to me. It's just so amazing you have all these different circles of study, and what made you decide to study the stars? Or the moon?
Well, the moon, I love animals so much, and I've always felt more at home or with family with animals.
Ah, yes.
So I want to become more with the animals, I think.
That's lovely.
Yeah. And speaking of animals, do y'all want to come with me to the theater to get some theater cheese? I think we owe a rat some cheese.
We do. I think that sounds good to me.
Rexy definitely deserves some fine cheese.
And the eyewitness mouse
Yes.
from the murder.
I think
A
we can
reward for it?
use them as a spy.
If we could have a whole army of mice spies, we could accomplish many tasks.
Let's get a lot of theater cheese.
Okay.
I'm on board with this.
So you head
But I'm
down to
bothered.
the you start through the town, and you cross over. As you're walking, the two Aarakocra call out to Neart. Good morning, young Neart. How are you today? And each of them have a shield and a practice sword, and they're sparring together. One of them, Jarna, yells out, would you like to join us for a little sword and board this morning? And she sort of taps the shield with her sword.
Indeed, I would love to, however. And he pulls his real sword. And I appear to be lacking the instrumentation.
And they gesture over to a rack of weapons behind them. And they say, "Well, we have plenty of other practice swords and shields that you can use if you don't want to, use your good stuff."
Fair enough. And Neart will put the shield up and put that on, and he'll step over and grab.
Okay.
I will see you later, friends. I have a calling to train for. And he heads off with the paladins.
All right, so we're going to stay with Neart as the two of you continue on to the theater. We'll come back to you. All right, so Crux and Jarna take turns sparring with you. One of them is left-handed, one's right-handed, so you get a chance to practice, against a couple different styles. As you were practicing, they both start to talk about what their knowledge is of, the Citadel of creation and the little that they know about the oaths that are taken by the paladins of the Citadel, and they mentioned that they themselves have taken what's known as the Oath of the Crown here. And it was an oath to the noble rulers, maybe 100 years ago, but the nobility is no longer sort of in charge of the government, and so for a while there was a commonwealth, and then there was a republic, and now it's sort of this academic run empire. And so the Oath of the Crown has changed over the years to mean an oath to the people, an oath to the populace, to no longer be an oath to the rulers, but to be an oath to those who are being ruled. And so they are looking to be champions of truth and justice, to look out for those who cannot defend themselves, to be guardians of the sort of outer borders of the land from invaders and stuff, and they talk about how their oath has brought them out here because they had heard the rumors of the return of the giants. And since the giants had been like the generals that had launched the invasions out of the Twisted Lands into the east, it was very concerning to them to hear that they possibly returned. As they're sort of talking, one of the things that Kirks asks you is, when you were traveling with the caravan out here to the fort, did you by any chance see a great green dragon? Possibly when you were crossing the grasslands.
Do I recall seeing a great green dragon?
You did not. You recall that when you crossed the grasslands, the rain started that afternoon and visibility went away, and you heard creatures out in the fog and in the rain, but you could not see them, so you did not see a dragon.
He takes his helmet off for a second and is like, we could hear some things, but unfortunately the sound of the rain off of my helm made it hard to hear anything too far away, and the visibility was next to none. So
yes, it's just that the caravan before you had reported seeing a green dragon flying up above the valley when they crossed. And then Jarna hops in. I'm telling you, it was a pterodactyl. It was just a dinosaur, one of the thunder lizards, okay? It was not a green dragon. Dragons haven't been seen around here in almost as much time since we last saw the giants out here, 100 years ago almost. So I really don't think, I think it's just your imagination. You just really want there to be a dragon out here. It's like, yeah, maybe.
But, and excuse me if I am out of line, but didn't both of you come out here for rumors of a giant or giants?
Yes, and the dragons, or the giants supposedly hunted the dragons almost to extinction. The dragons then united and made the giants extinct. So it would make sense if the giants were returning, then possibly the dragons could be returning as well. And we're looking for any major threats coming from these lands that could threaten the east, and those are the two big ones.
I will be on my guard. I will report back to you if I see either of these, for it bodes larger consequences for this place and these people. As to your questions about my oath, and above table, I'm going to reflavor Oath of the Crown to be a Citadel of Creation, to be, Oath of Creation, right? And it's essentially all of the same sort of feelings and actions and whatnot, but instead of just being to like the people and whatnot, it's to the source and the protecting of and the utilization thereof.
All the implications of everything that comes with the Citadel, since it's so entrenched, ingrained.
Yeah, it's a well, definitely from Neart's being it's a semi-militant, if not militant, place. He has a little bit of trouble, obviously, deciding how to deal with, we'll call it the gray areas of life, and so that could be a challenge for him going forward. But that's going to be his oath, and he'll sort of explain that, and he'll give, some of the main like tenets about there's no shame in trying to make something good. The difference between a student and master is only time. Creations are never finished, they're only abandoned, and the Forge Master gives us the power to create, but only by our will to create do we rise above the beasts. And so he gives them all of that, and that's where he says, and I must also write my own pillar.
Yes, that is something that has intrigued us about what we know of your people, is that each of you will add something new. We are pretty much following a code that was handed down to us and slightly modified over the years, but it is interesting that your people leave room for each person to add their own knowledge and learnings.
It is true that it is unusual amongst our profession.
Yes.
But much like I have noticed that things of the modern day have a trend or tide to them. Some things ebb and flow. There were small bits about not eating certain colors of food when we were just in the beginnings of the academic learnings at the Citadel. But those faded over time, or maybe we were just poor. I don't know. But there are some of the fifth pillars that ascend to become what we feel is a piece of the Forge Master's will.
Yes. So how they start to they sort of wind down some of the training, and Kirk says, I want to show you a couple of things that our oath has sort of brought into us that we believe is sort of unique and different, and we'd like to share them with you. And so he steps back and he looks between you and Jarna, and then he points at you with his sword, and he says, "You there! Fight me now!" And you instinctively bring up your shield and sword and start. And he's like, wait. No, it wasn't. I don't actually need to fight you. That was the demonstration.
But you declared it.
Yes, and that is something that someone with true conviction on a battlefield with hundreds of people, you can pick one person out, and you can compel them to duel you and only you. I want you to try it now. Between myself and Jarna, pick one of us and compel us to duel with you.
All right, and he kind of looks uneasy for a second and then adjusts the practice gear, and he's, "You there," and he points to Jarna, and he says, "I wish to smash your head."
She brings the shield up and steps in. She's like, "That is exactly how it's done. Exactly how it's done." And then Kirk says, "Now there's a couple different variations on this. I'm sure that you know that there are different ways that you can pull the energies into you and release them, whether it is more like a spell, like the clerics do, or whether you channel that directly. And so there's slight variations, but the attitude is the same. The place that you are coming from is the same, and you did exactly that. So that's something to practice, is if you're in a fight with a lot of people, try picking one out, someone that you can sort of surgically remove from the battlefield and compel them to duel with you and only you."
Compel them. This is fantastic. Thank you. For I will surgically remove them from the battle.
Excellent. And then Jarna comes in with, she's like, I have something better for you, Neart. Something even better.
Really?
Sit! And you boom, sit down immediately. And then she says, jump! And you jump up, and she's like, this is the word of command. Mm-hmm. Again, the same place that you come from with the Compelled Duel. You choose a word, and you command them to do something. And for 6 seconds, they will do it. Now, in the older rules, is a better version. In 2024 rules, they limited the number of words that you can use. We're not going to do that. Single word, an action that they can perform. And so she then looks at you and says, monologue! And you have 6 seconds where you have to perform a monologue about Neart.
Well, they found me on the steps of the Citadel around the age of 10, and I had lost my memory, and so they gave me the name Neart, and I began my studies at the Citadel.
And then it sort of peters out.
What was I saying?
See, you're not even sure. You had no ability to resist that once I gave you the command. So pick one of us, a single action, and command us.
And Neart gets a little cheeky, like thing on the edge of his lip, and he goes, mime. It is my favorite form of entertainment.
I think that's about 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's
Great.
But yes, but that's exactly the thing. Like, they changed it to just sort of stop, drop your weapon, or what, these sort of simple things. But it was so much better when you could make people go do monologues or have serious self-doubt or things like that. So get creative with that command spell if you use it.
My favorite use I've ever gotten away with was defenestrate, which is to throw someone through a window.
Okay.
It's one word.
Great. Hey, it works. It works. So
stress it. I don't think Neart's got that one.
Maybe not Neart.
But yeah, cool. Well, I thank you for these lessons.
Oh, you're most welcome. We look for kindred spirits, and we share the things that we've learned along the way, and we hope that if you learn interesting things along the way, you come back and you share them with us.
As things pour from the forge, so will they pour from my spirit and into you, as the Forge Master wills it.
As the Forge Master wills it. Speaking of the Forge Master, have you been down in the mine to see all of the wonderful resources that the Forge Master has, left here for us to harvest? There's, the whole reason that our fort is here is there is a mine under the big hill. Have you been down there yet?
We have not ventured down there. Would you be able to arrange that, or is there a method for going down?
Anyone who it's another part of the fort. Anyone who wishes to go down there can go explore. There are reasons to go down there. The artificers are going down there almost every day to harvest more supplies and stuff. Very common objects that they need for their creations are there. But there's actually something in there that we would like your opinion on. Mm-hmm. We are having a little bit of a debate over this mural. You see, under the in the mine area, there's a section that was some sort of old world building that was here before, some construction, some foundation, some basement dungeon, something like that. And along one of the walls, there is a painted mural on this wall of what I think is a knight in shining armor with his visor down, planting his flag on a field of victory. It is an empty plain. I think it's probably a desert, but I think he is a conquering hero. And Jarna here, she does not agree. She thinks that he is the last of his kind, saying goodbye to the world that has been destroyed. And we would love it if you could take a look at this large painting as someone who has grown up in a society that is very art history sort of
that's good.
oriented. We would love to hear your thoughts on it, should you have a chance to go down into the mine for some other reason. I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of stuff on this session that are going to be like quest hooks that you don't necessarily have to do right away, that if something else brings you into the proximity of them, be on the lookout for this, but you don't need to necessarily make a special trip for it.
Well, if nothing else, Tarnish would definitely like to see the mine. He's quite creative.
Yes.
I believe the Forge Master speaks through him, though he does not know it yet. I will take my leave, but thank you. And if you need me, I will be around.
Excellent, excellent. We may have need of your assistance in the coming weeks. Lord Lawrence has mentioned that he would like to do a tour of the various villages and factions and whatnot of the area, to spend a week going amongst the people and whatnot. And should we decide to go, we'd be happy to have you along the way to aid us and be a companion.
Yes, I can see him wanting to carry the investigation of his responsibilities beyond the walls of this fort.
So we're going to sort of
He
fade out from near.
Slipped up.
Inquisition.
Inquisition. All right, and so we come back up, and now we're with Savina and Tarnish, still on their way to the theater. And as you're walking up, you hear music coming out from around the corner there, and I would like each of you to make a history check.
5.
9.
5 and 9. So there's little bits of
11.
11? Okay. There's little bits of the song that sort of tickle your brain, but you don't really remember where you've heard this before. Now, it's just them warming up, so they're just sort of messing around. They're not playing a specific song. But you have definitely, at some point, heard this music or something like it before, but you just you can't place it right away. And as you come around the corner, you see the 3 performers there, and there's 2 humans, or 1 human, a half-elf, and a halfling. And they're playing on their instruments and stuff. And they spot you, and they sort of wave hello, and and they say, well, our show, we're just sort of tuning up a little bit, but our shows will be starting. We'll be doing shows at noon, around lunch hour, and then we'll be doing evening shows as well, starting this afternoon, basically.
Are y'all selling any of that theater cheese right now, or is that when the show?
You want to just go into the common room there of the Red Wall Inn. They have it in there, and so you go inside, and it's similar to the place that you guys are staying. And there's a common room downstairs, but there's a specific counter where they have just cheese, a little selection of gourmet cheese and stuff, and so. Nice lady walks over and is like, hey, hello, can I help you?
Hi, I heard from many people that your theater cheese is the best cheese.
Yes, our cheese is the best cheese in the whole fort. The rest of it's sort of brought in. We make ours locally. We have just under the, in the basement, we have a little cheese cave. We also do lager beers, which take, a colder temperature to brew. So if there's anything that you like as far as those crisp lager beers, or if you want some of these, the cheeses, we have, we can give you whatever you need.
A cheese cave? What is the cheese?
What types of cheeses do we have? Okay, and so she starts pulling these small wheels of cheese off and taking bits of wax paper and cutting little slices of cheese for you, and you start tasting cheese.
None for me. I am weak stomach.
Oh, okay. So then, so Savina, you get to sample cheese, and I assume that you share it with Rexy.
So I have, I think I have an herbalism kit.
Okay.
Can
you make
I
that some herb garlic cheese out of this?
Can I try to make a lactate for Tarnish?
lactate-free cheese with
Okay.
herbs.
Yeah. Do you have proficiency in the herbalism kit?
I don't think so, actually. No.
All right. So just roll me a d20.
That's a 3.
3.
Oh.
Oh yeah, like
Plus,
the
yeah.
cheese. Like Rexy won't even eat the cheese after. Like he's pretty much will eat anything, but after you've messed with it, he's like,
Oh, Savina, that's quite all right. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Maybe I'll just stick with a lager, and you can pick out some cheese for our friends.
yeah, I think I'll do that. But one day I will figure out how to make cheese that you can eat.
Okay, maybe. I don't really need to eat cheese though.
Okay.
But thank you so much. I really do appreciate. That's quite a nice thing for you to care about. But no, thank you.
Got it. So yeah, I get I try some of the cheese and I pick out a couple different
okay.
pieces.
And it'll just be we'll just say 1 gold piece because cheese is not super expensive.
I don't drink alcohol usually, but I'm very interested in the fermentation properties of this lager. Is there any chance I could get just a little vial full for my?
Would you like?
uses?
We have. Do you want the beer or do you want a yeast starter? Because I can give you a lager yeast starter if you
Yes,
want.
I would prefer just the yeast starter.
Okay. And so she goes in the back and gets basically what's like a little shot glass size little bottle that's a very cloudy brown liquid, and that's just a live yeast culture for making beer.
If I mix this with some kind of arsenic, I could maybe create a deadly poisonous drink.
Oh, sure.
Anyway,
But that'll be a gold piece for that as well. So whenever you get a chance,
sure.
deduct that.
Tarnish has money.
You guys are getting paid 20 gold pieces a week, if you
Okay.
remember, and your basic expenses are covered by a gold piece a day. So you basically have 13 gold piece surplus per week. Plus, you also got like 100 gold pieces from Lord Lawrence when you arrived at the fort for all the stuff you did.
Did we divide that, or did we put?
No,
that
it was
in
100
part?
each.
It was 100 each.
Yeah.
I need to update my
Yeah,
stores.
Mhm.
Yeah, I pass over the 1 gold happily.
All right. Anything else you want to do here at the theater?
Tarnish, do you want to listen to the musicians again? That melody they were playing was...
I was actually going to say, should we just ask them what song they were playing?
Let's go ahead and do that.
It was quite familiar to me. I'm not much of a musician, but let's go and ask them.
Okay.
Thank you, Cheese Lady.
You're welcome. And the cheese lady goes away, and you head out into the little theater area where they're still playing on their instruments. So what do you ask them?
I am loving this tune that you're playing, and it reminds me of something, but I can't quite place it. What
Well,
is
I
this
mean,
music that you're playing?
where are you from? We've toured all over the eastern lands, and we've played our show going on, 18 years now, I think, since we first got together, was it? Yeah, 18, maybe 19? No, 17. There's no way it's 19 years. 17. No, 18. And so they're arguing back and forth about how many years it's been since they first formed their troupe.
Oh,
Huh, well, I'm from Roselle.
Brazil. Oh, yes, we've been there many times. So the salons that the nobles run every summer, where they throw parties every week and they bring in thinkers and artists and musicians and actors and all sorts of things. And we've gone to so many of them. We met. Yes, it was the Markov family salon that summer. Yes. And that was 18 and 19 years ago? No, it was 17 years ago, not 19. And so they're still arguing about how old they are and how long they've been. But yes, they said it was the Markov family salon that they met, and that's where the troupe was first formed.
Oh, wow. I'm a Markov.
Are you now?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Savina.
Huh. Let's see. I don't think we've met you, dear.
Probably not.
Get these people's names out.
I'm a storm coil, but we're just a commoner family.
And where are you from?
Ironhold.
Oh, we've toured Ironhold many times. Yes, at the old drinking hall downtown by the river. That's typically where we play. And just so you know, we don't just do music. Maybe you will remember some of our comedy bits. Do you remember the philosophy department? No? No? You can roll a history check if you want to.
7.
A 17.
17. You yell out, Bruce! And they're like, yes! Everyone is named Bruce in the philosophy department. Yes! Tarnish has no idea what's going on.
Is it a comedy?
Yes,
Oh.
we do a combination of short story comedy bits. We do games with the audience where we don't necessarily know what's going on, and it's called improvisation.
Improvisational humor.
Yes, we do that.
I don't think I'd like that very much.
Probably not. I mean, it's an acquired taste. Some people like it, but we also do songs and and things like that. And so earlier we were playing one of our oldest songs that we came up with. Oh gosh, probably 15 years ago. Yes, we'd been together for maybe 2 or 3 years at that point, and so that's probably what you've heard is that being played somewhere.
So you've listened to this concert or seen these shows?
I was very young, but I do remember sneaking in for a little while.
Sneaking in?
Yeah.
Weren't they playing at your abode?
Well, yeah, but
It would have been on the estate, and maybe the little kids might not have been invited because their humor can get a little bit raunchy, I guess.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, my parents did not think it was dignified for us to view the show, but I snuck in anyways.
Ah, I see, yes. Oh, childhood. I have memories such as that. We would always be mending the pots for the family business, and I wasn't really allowed to go out that much. I just, I worked on the metalworking, the tea kettles and such, so.
Oh, that's so funny. I wasn't allowed to go out that much either.
Well, I mean, I did go to school and after-school clubs and stuff, but my free time was a little limited.
Oh, you're so lucky. I was tutored all of my childhood.
So, you said you didn't get to go out?
Well, sometimes, of course, sometimes, but
What times?
with my parents, once in a while to go to a store or something, but usually I stayed at home on the grounds.
On the grounds.
Yeah. I would make a mess of things if I went out on my own.
You don't seem like the kind of person that would make mess of things. You seem...
Really?
Well, you did try and thorn whip a stranger the first time you saw them.
Well, exactly.
That's interesting. I'm so glad that you are free to roam now.
Me too. Yeah.
So why, after so many years, do you find yourselves in the Twisted Lands of all places performing?
Well, you see, there had been a previous troupe that had set up this little theater here, and, well, we've played every major town and city in the Eastern Lands. We've even gone down the coast and played some of the fishing villages there, and we're always looking for a new audience, and, well, the theater company that was here before, they left, and the theater was empty, and we thought, well, why not go play in the Twisted Lands? It would be something, something to be able to tell our grandchildren about, that we went on the very adventures that we make fun of.
Wow.
Oh, why did the previous troupe leave?
Oh, it's just, they'd been here for 3 months and it was their time to rotate out. You don't want to stay out here too long or things can happen apparently, but...
People keep saying that, but there are locals that we've seen and met, and they seem like they're decent people.
And the halfling lady chimes in. Oh, you two don't have to worry. You're an elf. You're a gnome. We're fine. It's the humans that have the trouble. And she gives a little points to the bass player next to her, who's the human of the group.
Oh. So you feel that the humans are more affected by the Twisted Lands, perhaps?
That's what I've been told by sort of fellow halflings and stuff that have come out here. They said that they're they haven't had any trouble or haven't seen any issues of strange mutations or strange changes in people's thinking and stuff.
We did see a gnome that had a squirrel's tail, I think, at one point.
Yes, I mean, That's the quartermaster.
Yes, yes.
He made that out of
Oh, that's
cloth.
a choice.
Yes, he was already a little bit bonkers, apparently.
We should go meet him.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, that's exciting that you've come here for new adventures. And, now that we have you here, just curious,
Yes.
we've heard rumors of some artificers disappearing or defecting. And as the entertainment types, I feel like you might have a perspective that maybe others don't. Have you seen or heard anything?
That's all the way on the other side of the camp. I don't really, unless what's the guy's name? Just a second. 'Cause they have an accordion player. Simon. Unless Simon's accordion isn't working, we don't really have much reason to go hang out with the artificers. But we did hear that a bunch of them, left early with the previous rotation. We heard that a couple of them just disappeared, overnight, or went off onto a foray and didn't come back. But that's not really something that we care that much about. We're down here, singing and dancing and, trying to fill up the tip jar.
Speaking of the tip jar, I'm going to try and pull off a bribe.
Okay.
And take 3 gold pieces out and be like, oh yes, speaking of which, we've really loved your performance, but if you could really think hard about any rumors or secrets that you might have heard of, maybe not about the artificers, but about important people you might have seen at performances, and I drop the coins in.
All right.
We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. And the half elf guy sort of goes, I get what you're saying there, my friend. So he says, well, let's see, any juicy tidbits that might be. Well, I mean, I guess it's not really that much of a secret, but Lord Lawrence and Alania, they're back together again, and I think that's a good thing. I'd actually known them years ago. I played at her one of her estates for an anniversary party for her uncle or something like that. So I've known them for a few years. They're good people.
Wow, back together again. We thought they were separated.
Yes, they were. They had apparently after their last time out here had gotten divorced, but now it seems like they may be reconciling. What else? Let's see. He mentions that he just heard that there's a druid who's been hanging out with the artificers and been making this spyglass thing that is supposed to make it so you can see from far away, and one of them pipes up and is like, "That's Hamilton. We know him. We met him years ago." And they're like, "Wait, Hamilton? He's the one that's no, that little kid?" And so this is somebody that they knew when he was much younger, and have just realized that he's the same person. And so as they're chattering, Savina, you sort of overhear that Hamilton was also one of the people at one of these salons when they first met, that he was maybe 16 or 17 and was, fresh out of the grove and seeing the world for the first time. And they relate sort of how gullible he was, how easy it was to, that he would fall for any sort of, tricks or practical jokes and stuff, and that he was very, very gullible, but was well liked by the other people at the salon that summer. And let's see if there's anything else that we got here that they might have for you. Okay. Yeah, so they also mention that there's all sorts of interesting stories and stuff to uncover around this fort. That the fort itself, the outer wall, is new, but the area above the mine was an existing structure that the fort was built around, and inside, underneath, there's all of these strange things that they don't understand. There's paintings on the walls, and there's strange devices that they don't have any idea what they could have once been used for. It's all sorts of wondrous, interesting things down there. And they recommend that you take a look and let your imagination run wild, and if you come up with anything good, to let them know, and they'll try to work it into a show.
Ooh. are there any word of any interesting animals or creatures?
Oh, there's interesting creatures all over the place. Again, in that same area where the druids have sort of taken over, there's all sorts of things. I heard a rumor that there's mushrooms that talk, apparently. So, I don't really know. I haven't been over there that much, but yeah, apparently there's mushrooms that talk. There's a tree that has a face on it. I don't know if that talks, but all sorts of weird stuff going on.
That sounds very strange.
I want to go see this area.
I would like to explore the mines and the interesting devices that might behold there. Maybe we should collect Neart and maybe we could go do that.
Yeah, let's head over and see if we can find Neart and maybe drop off some of this cheese to the
Yes, indeed.
to the rat that helped us.
Okay. So you cross back over. You don't see Neart out there practicing anymore. He's sort of already headed off. As you continue and you come across the main thoroughfare here onto the bridge, Xochi yells out to you, Savina, "Oh, my dear, I have a few things I would like to show you. Do you have a few minutes this morning for me?"
Oh,
It has to do with the moon and some animals, shape-shifting stuff. Please, it would be so much fun. Come join me.
absolutely. Do you guys mind if we postpone for a little while?
You haven't found Neart yet?
Oh.
Still doing
Tarnish, do you
stuff.
mind if we postpone for a little while?
That's perfectly fine. I have no interest in druid craft, so I will go and maybe try and socially mingle with some other artificers that I have not yet met.
It
Goodbye.
sounds good.
Yep. So you continue on over to that there. So we're gonna do Tarnish. We'll go ahead and do you first, and then we'll do Savina.
Oh, okay.
That way you have time to build your robot. So
Spoiler.
that's what happens when you go to 3rd level and choose Battlesmith. So you walk into the artificer corner, and you happen to see there that there are, everybody's sort of out and working on their stuff, but there are actually 2 artificers here that are working on their
Oh yeah, I see
There.
them.
automatons there. One is a gnome with this sort of blue and purple and pink iridescent hair, and the other is this tall elf woman. And so as you're coming through, all of the other artificers are there just working on various things. The outgoing head artificer is giving the incoming new head artificer a rundown of how the fabricator machine that he's built works and stuff. He gave you a tutorial on it before. So what would you like to do?
Tarnish is gonna walk up to the automatons that are being created and just almost zoned in, ignoring other things going on, and just fascinating. How are these contraptions are just so technologically complex?
And the tall elf woman looks over to you and she says, "Oh yes, they are quite complicated. They in many ways sort of mimic a living thing, but in many ways they're their own thing as well. What's your name, young gnome?"
Oh, my name is Tarnish Stormcoil, and I'm an artificer.
Welcome, Tarnish. I'm Victoria Kirchhoff, and this is my apprentice, Quinlan Cobblekin.
Oh, hello.
Do you have an interest in the battlesmithing trade, or are you just observing?
Well, I think I do have an interest. I'm looking for examples of progress being pushed to the limits of what we can create and build to serve a greater purpose.
And you have found the cutting edge. This is actually why Lord Lawrence has invited us to go with him on when he takes the grand tour, is we're to take our automatons with us to show the locals the marvels that we are creating with the things we're taking from these lands.
Wow.
Do you have some time? It takes a lot of effort, a lot of hands to upgrade and maintain these things, and it would be very helpful to us if you would be able to lend a hand while we service our machines here.
Oh, it would be an honor to contribute my skills. He pulls out his quarterstaff, which is a wrench that is built into a staff, and is just how can I help?
Oh, that's a lovely device.
Thank you.
Do you have your own set of smith's tools yet?
I do. I have smith's tools, and he like pulls out all the different tools he's collected, weaving tools, all kinds of artisan tools. And then he pulls out the power source that he had collected in the forest on the way here.
Right.
Just like, I'm ready to build.
Yes, you are well appointed. Wow, this is amazing. Do you have a utility belt?
No. I don't have a belt.
Well, I guess unluckily for the previous set of artificers, a bunch of our gear was stolen.
Oh.
But with the caravan, Quinlan was along the way and shepherded a whole bunch of new supplies and tools. So we have extra tool belts, we have repair packs, we have, and they actually pull out this very ornate hammer, and each of them have these really sort of complicated hammers that have different attachments on them. And so they have a couple in a chest. They pull one out and they give it to you.
Ooh.
And it's a battlesmithing hammer that it's a war hammer +1,
Nice.
but
Whoa.
you can change out the attachments on the head, so it can be either bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing damage, your choice, as a bonus action to swap them.
Love that.
The notion here is this is a weapon for you. It's also going to be the primary thing that you're going to use to repair your automaton.
Okay.
This works as Smith's tools by itself. So you can use other tools and bring out all your other stuff to repair it, but this is really all you need. And as you go up in levels, it's going to get better by you sort of improving it. At some point I was figuring maybe 7th, 8th level, something around there. You could even infuse it so that it would have acid damage or lightning or fire or something like that.
Yes, please.
Since you are a character whose entire purpose is building things, I think having a weapon that you can then upgrade, used for sort of peaceful means as well, I think that really could be a fun thing for you to play with.
Wow, what a versatile tool. This is excellent.
Yes. It was actually first developed by my mentor, and that's Victoria saying that that you're able to then use this as a weapon. You're able to use it to build things. It's so versatile. And then she takes out something else. She's like, and I just recently wrote a book all about how to build these automatons and repair them and maintain them. I don't have a title for it yet. I'm thinking Zen and the Art of Automaton Repair, but I'm not sure. I'm not set on it. Half of the book, the first half, is the repair manual, and the second half is a notebook for you to be able to take your own notes. Should you come up with anything that's not in the book that you think should be included, I will happily credit you in the publication. We look to publish when I return from this foray in another month. So we're not doing a copy edit just yet for language and whatnot. This is more of a, does the format work for you? Does the story that it tells, do you have big questions,
Tarnish cracks open the pamphlet. He's like, wow, the footnotes are superb on this manual. I've never seen such a great instructional manual. I cannot wait to pore over this.
Well, it is, the documentation of the work we do is half the fun.
Oh,
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
I agree with that? Do you actually mind if I, crack into this and start building?
Go ahead. Oh, and yes, and Quinlan also brought all these extra parts. So,
excellent.
in restocking all of the artificer stuff, there's all sorts of extra parts. There's multiple designs in there. So there's one that has all the pieces like this.
Okay.
There's one that has all the pieces like this that's black, and then there's a bunch of just random pieces and stuff in there too. So,
wow, these are excellent pieces. Mine are usually rusted through or just things I could find from scrap, but this is really quite something.
well, we tried to get since we had to restock anyways, we got the top quality gear, and then she says, "I see you have this deposit here from one of the carnivorous plants. That is actually going to be very useful to you. You can use a lot of that to form the control center, the thinking brain of your automaton. And in order to do that, she leads you over to the fabricator, shows you how to set that up to break it down, and she says it's going to take probably an hour for the machine to break this down and have it ready for you to form into the control center of your automaton."
I'll pop that in
All right.
to the oven.
Get that started,
Cool.
and while you're working on your machine, Quinlan, who's also a gnome, is just chattering. Just chattering. She's so happy that there's somebody else in the town that's into the same stuff that she is, and she's like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? She's somebody who's just a little bit higher level than you, but not enough to where she's forgotten what it's like to be getting started, and so she's like turning you on to her favorite hobby basically.
Yeah, I'm pulling out like the yeast. I'm like, and I just collected this yeast, which I thought we could turn into something.
That's amazing. There's so many uses for yeast. It's everywhere. It's everywhere out in the world. You can find it all over the place. And you can make beer. You can make cheese. You can make all this stuff from it.
Taking something living and harnessing its potential.
Yes, that's the whole thing. I dabbled in alchemy myself way back when I was funding my studies. I made some potions and stuff, and it was really really helpful to study as many different disciplines as you can. And I heard that there was on the trip that someone created a new way to take the crystal mint tea, and they turned it into a lozenge, and I just thought that was just so bright, and so she's just going
Tarnish
on.
just like fully flushes red. It's just like, oh, that was me.
Oh, really? You made that? Have you? Did you? Oh, I bet you as soon as you got here, you probably sent off the patent and the description off to the archive, so it's registered. Look at you! You've already got.
Oh,
You haven't?
I was just.
Oh no! You gotta do that. Here, wait. Okay, well, while your thing's boiling down, we're gonna run over to the printing press over at the Owlry, and we can send it off right now. You know that alchemists are always stealing each other's ideas, and the alchemists that are all in here are like, what? No, what are you talking about? We don't do that. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that so loud. The alchemists always steal other people's ideas.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I didn't need to own the idea. I just thought...
Well, yeah, you don't need to own it, but don't you want other people who are improving on your idea to say, we got this idea from Tarnish, not, I pulled this out of my own butt?
I suppose that's the formality, the way things should be done.
Come on. You've got plenty of time before your thing's ready to be used. Come on. And she starts dragging you across the...
Okay.
All right, and so she drags you over to the 3-story Owlry Tower, and there's an Aarakocra there that works there, and they go up, and she drags you over to the printing press, and there's a halfling there who is using the press at the time. She finishes what she's doing, takes her stuff, and Quinlan shows you how to fill out like the form, and then you need to get him to stamp it here, because that's like notarizing it that you actually are the right person and stuff, and so they go through all of that.
It's really not that impressive. I mean, anyone could have thought of this. I don't even know if we should do this. I think it's just it's just a silly little thing.
No, you have to start. What do you think? One day when you walk into the Museum of Progress, don't you want to see Tarnish's journey? And it starts with the lozenge, and then we end up with big automaton that he built, and then what other things he could build too. But if they don't have the lozenge, they're not able to tell the full story.
Can I roll an insight check on myself to see if I'm susceptible to like my ego being on display?
I think you should make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw, okay. Let's see. 4.
You're like, okay, all right, I'm in. Yeah, I totally get it. Yes.
You're right. I could have my own statue in the Museum of Progress.
Someday. I mean, they're constantly doing new exhibits.
Wow.
They're opening new vestibules and wings and all sorts of stuff. And someday we're gonna be in there.
You and me, Quinlan.
Yeah.
In the museum.
Right.
Sign my name on the dotted line.
And so that costs you 10 gold pieces to register
Worth
your
every
idea. But that is then put into an envelope and sent off with an owl to the Museum of Progress archive, where it will live forever. All right, and so now that you've done that, she then leads you back over to the artificer corner, where now you're big glump has now been rendered down. Victoria then takes you through the fine process of putting in the runes that connect everything, and you work on your automaton.
Wow. I really, I've met some artificers, but I really connect with your type of building. I think that maybe I could learn a lot from you all.
We would love to have you, Victoria says. And she says that, when we go out with Lord Lawrence, we will need to have we'd love to have you come with us, because we could totally use somebody else to help maintain our automatons. They need to be in tip-top working order so that we can demonstrate them for the locals.
Maintenance is important, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll consider it for sure.
Great. All right, so we'll sort of fade out as he's doing that. All right, so we'll fade up on Savina with Xochi as you're sitting there across from each other, cross-legged on the mossy ground across from the sort of the druid circle there. And Xochi's taking you through some sort of meditations about, what is common about all animals, what things, about life are universal, and how the moon is our constant companion, that even when we don't see the moon, when she's on the other side of the world, she's still with us and still guides us and still can inspire us. And so as you're going through this, she then starts to help you transform into more complicated, larger creatures. And so this is how you're expanding your list of things that the challenge rating, I guess, of the creatures that you can choose. And so she takes you through a few of those. And then she also mentions that part of the Circle of the Moon is to be ready to heal at any, at a moment's notice. And she says you will no longer, if you take this path, you will no longer have to prepare your basic, healing spell, your cure wounds spell. That will be at your fingertips, should you need it at any time. So that's for the Moon Druids, that's one of their class spells, is the cure wounds. In addition to that, she says that, the moon is our guide and can illuminate the night. Not as brightly as the sun, but it can lessen the shadows and make it so that things can be seen. Things that are trying to obscure themselves from the world can be seen through a moonbeam. And she reaches out and she pulls down this moonbeam in the middle of the day, but it's obvious that it's this sort of pale bluish light, and then she makes it disappear and it appears somewhere else. And she says this is a spell that you must concentrate on, but once you cast it, you can make it appear in different places as you wish, without having to expend additional magical energy. So she asks you to follow along, and she teaches you to pull down the moonbeam. And she says one of the other side effects of this is that if a creature has shapeshifted and you hit them with the moonbeam, there's a good chance that they will have to revert to their original true self. And so for creatures like were creatures or doppelgangers, this can be a very useful sort of weapon to reveal what they are trying to hide. She also teaches you a spell that she calls Starry Wisp, which sends a mote of sort of moonlight at an enemy and can harm them with this. And so, taking you through all of that, she's also talking about the notions of shape-shifting and what it is to be a shape-shifter, and that it's very common for people who don't know our ways to think that we are cursed in the same way that the were creatures are cursed. Are you familiar with were creatures? You can make a nature check. 7. You've heard the name were creatures before, as in a werewolf or a werebear or a were-rat or a were-cat, but you don't have any personal experience with them. There's no legends around Rosil of local things like this happening. And so Xochi talks about how there are some creatures that when they bite or scratch you, they can impart this this curse, this sort of part curse, part disease called lycanthropy, where on a full moon, the person will then transform into sort of a half human, half animal that is driven by the animal instincts and driven to do, whatever. So for wolves, often they'll hunt. A were-cat will hunt and play with its food for as long as it can before it actually kills its food because they are cats. And so it's things like that. And so she says that a part of our charge is to go out and find those who have been cursed by this and either help them reconcile with themselves and accept themselves as this new thing, or to help alleviate and remove the curse. Some people decide they like being a werewolf, and that's okay. We're going to let them be a werewolf as long as it's not hurting them or their families or their local people. We'll let them do their thing. But that's sort of one of our main charges is seeking out and finding people who've been afflicted by this shape-shifting curse.
Can they control themselves if they wanted to?
Yes, over time they can learn to control it. This is known as blood hunting. It is a very specific sort of path of coming to terms with the beast and animal inside of you, and is often started by this first changeover. It's a difficult path, and so not a lot of people want to walk that path, but it's rewarding for those who have been able to control it.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. I didn't know it was that complicated.
It can be, yes. The world is much larger than just rats and mice and the small creatures. There's big forces that are behind many things. And she says that one of the reasons that she came out here on this trip was because there was a rumor of a tribe of shapeshifters that have moved into this area over the last couple of months, and that they are a group of wolf shapeshifters. And so she's not sure if they are afflicted by the curse of lycanthropy, if they're were-creatures, or if they are druids like us, who simply have found a great affinity for wolves.
Oh, wow, that's incredibly fascinating. I would love to meet some druids that have transformed themselves into wolves. That would be really, really interesting, because I've never met a wolf before.
She says that she hasn't either, that her favorite thing to transform into is a bear, but that she had a friend who was had a great affinity for wolves, but that he disappeared many years ago. His name was, let me find it, so many characters. His name was Gorin.
Gorin? Mm-hmm. Was he here at this fort when he disappeared?
No, he was back in Forwich when he disappeared. But it's possible that he may have come out here into these lands. I hope to find him again one day. But sometimes it's best to let people wander until they can find what they need to find. Okay, and so she said she's continues teaching you more about sort of nature and about the shape shifting and whatnot, and she says that she would like you to find there's a giant spider that lives down in the mine, and she would like to give you the challenge of meeting this spider. It is intelligent and can speak. You'll need to use your speak with animals spell to be able to understand it, but you should be able to communicate with it. She has been down there and has negotiated with the spider already that are going to have the miners basically cut a little trench to allow water to come into her area, so that they have that, and then has negotiated that the spider will provide bundles of silk in order that can be used, for making all sorts of different things. It's a high quality string and cloth can be made from it, magic items, all sorts of stuff, so the hunters for the fort go out and they hunt and they bring back game and stuff, and they usually bring back too much because it's better to bring back too much than not enough. So there's always a little bit of surplus, and so instead of sort of throwing it out, the druids want to make sure that the other creatures and whatnot in the fort are fed, and so they've negotiated with this giant spider that any surplus food brought in by the hunters will be brought down to them and traded for these spider silk bundles. And so she says, if you get a chance to go down there, I would love to have you meet the spider and try and shapeshift into it, or into a similar spider. But also, we're due to pick up the latest bundles of silk. So, if you get a chance to go down there, that would be a good thing for you to do.
And pick up some silk?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As someone who loves animals and is always worried about the ones that might look a little scary or a little bit different, I appreciate that you all have built a relationship with this spider. That is amazing.
Yeah, well, these types of spiders, when they get to this size, they're able to have reasonable thoughts in the way that you and I do. And we can reason with them, we can negotiate with them. And if we hadn't reached out, then it's entirely possible that the spider have become hungry, had another brood of little spiderlings that they needed to feed, and might have attacked some of our people in the mine just because they were there. So we reached out to them and made this arrangement to prevent our people from being harmed, and also to make sure that the spider itself would be able to have a long and fruitful life.
I would absolutely love to visit this spider.
Good. Let's see what else I got on my list of notes here. All right. She, as she sort of brings the lesson to a close, she says that she's been invited by Lord Lawrence to go out on this grand tour with him, and that one of the stops will be the camp of the Wolf tribe. And that she would like you to join her as sort of a second pair of ears and someone to consult with, someone else who is a shapeshifter like her, to determine, are they a threat to us? Are they uncontrolled, were creatures, or are they, simply another group of people trying to make their way here in the Twisted Lands?
I am very much enticed to come with you. May I think about it?
Absolutely. We have like a week before this is going to happen. So I don't need to know right away, but the sooner that you can let me know, the better. If you're not able to go, I'll check with one of the other druids. But it would be nice to have another moon druid specifically with me.
I will let you know.
Great. And so we'll sort of pull back from this lesson here. And now the three of you have sort of finished your leveling up process. Everybody's level 3. You've got some new abilities. You've got some new stuff to play with. I saw that Tarnish has been building his automaton. It is, wow, a 4-legged thing in there. That is
so cute.
That is wild. Love it. All right. And so as the day goes on, you do your various activities, and the sun starts to set. Neart goes and does his salutations, or his sort of, what did you call it? The salute to the sun.
Yeah, it's like the sun salute at the end of the day.
Yeah,
for him to sort of say goodbye to the world of creation.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an obsession, guys.
A little bit, yeah. I think he's very dedicated to his stuff.
No other paladins are doing it like Neart does it. It's just a Neart thing.
All right, and so the sun goes down, and Lord Lawrence and Alania come gather you up, and you see Hamilton, a 2-day growth of of stubble and stuff, sort of that really stereotypical sort of absent-minded, bumbling professor kind of thing going on. Really enthusiastic, wants to engage everybody, but would forget that that he was wearing shoes if he didn't actually look down every few minutes and see that he's actually wearing shoes or whatever. So he's got this telescope on a tripod, up on his shoulder, and he sort of marches you guys up the hill to the top of this this sort of pile of rubble. Basically, there are some trees and some greenery growing and stuff there, but it's mostly just like random rocks and stuff. You can tell that they don't really worry about an invading army coming up over the hill because it's just so craggy and stuff that it would be that the few archers on the back wall would be able to pick off an army coming in from this direction really easy. So you wind your way up as the sun is going down. You find a nice little rock outcropping up top, and Lawrence breaks out the picnic basket and hands out some little bits of stuff to eat and pours wine for everybody, and just starts chit-chatting, and as Hamilton's setting up the telescope, and Lawrence is saying how grateful he is to have met the three of you, that he was very that coming here was not something that he had wanted to do, it was something that he had to do, that he was driven to do. Mm-hmm. And that meeting you, the three of you, and sort of how simply good you were and trying to help everyone, even someone that ran off from camp and nobody really knew. We could have just left them, but no, you said no, we want to go find out what happened to this person. And it was those actions that sort of gave him the confidence and the inspiration to take the chance to mend his relationship with his ex-wife, and that he had thought when he came here that it would be just business, hand off, and then she would go, and the three of you with your simple goodness sort of let him open his heart again, and now they're on the way to mending what was broken, and he's very, very thrilled by this. And Alania is also, she's a little bit more circumspect. Like, she can tell that he's like over the moon, and she's a little bit more practical, thinking, well, I'm leaving tomorrow, and it's going to be 3 months before I see you again. So let's just let the sort of the wonderful thing that happened here be what it is, and not try and make it into something that it doesn't have to be. And so she's sort of trying to, rein him in a little bit, but he's just like over the moon right now. And so, anything you guys want to, any conversations you want to start? Anything you'd like to say?
Savina, just seeing the love, and it's something like that much love is on the verge of tears, and just.
I told you they had resumed their nuptials.
Yes, if that's what they want, then that's what they'll do. So we should be supportive, and I am supportive of you.
I do appreciate that, Tarnish.
Yes.
I do appreciate that very much. And so Hamilton gives you guys a little, little call and says, it's going to be just a few minutes before the transit begins. It's going to be about 5 minutes or so. And so this is where we'll sort of fade out for the end of chapter 7.